Welcome back. So I woke up in the mood for smoke, and I ran into just the right video or videos for smoke. And let me tell you, I'm not talking about anybody that I periodically give props and shout outs to. I'm not talking about any of those content creators. Now let's deal with why Macy Barber earned all the criticism that I've given her. I'm just speaking for myself. Because I called her scared. I said she was scared to fight Natalia Silva. Not scared to fight Erin Blanchfield, but Natalia Silva. But this idea that Barber is some type of major threat, you're going to have to prove that with hard facts. You can't just waddle around here popping off at the mouth saying it without proving it. You got to provide evidence. See, over in this space, we really about debates. This is just like boxing, in the barber shop. Men used to gather and debate boxing. Here online, we're debating WMA. Let me tell you, you should not bring fanboy energy to a debate. Don't do that. You come trying to debate or question or challenge me and you using fanboy energy, I'm going to tear your ass up. Your ass going to get towed up, head to toe. Just like on this stream, I'm tearing your ass up. Bringing that goofy, tranny-like fanboy energy to a debate, you deserve to get roasted. The idea is that Barber is some type of major threat to the best fighters in the division. Let's deal with that, because I question that. If you ask me, Barber is too C+ level to be a threat to the title. Not only is she too C+ level, she's too injury prone. Look at her on the screen right here. How many times have we heard about Macy Barber falling apart? Y'all remember this, don't you? Where she came down with like pneumonia and all types of illnesses. She almost died, almost slipped into a coma, just out of nowhere. Y'all remember what Erin Blanchfield said about her, right? Okay, we're not even going to deal with her record yet. We're going to hold off on examining her record. We're going to wait for the end. If you ask me, Macy Barber has not proven to be no threat to the best fighters in the division. She has proven to be a cherry picker. If you ask me, a cherry picker, you're not a level. You sitting back saying, no, I don't want to fight this chick or that chick. I want to fight her. You don't get props from me for doing that. The baddest fighters in the division says, I don't care who I'm matched up against. I ain't worried about these broads. They need to be worried about being matched up against me. Especially if you're a contender and you're moving up through the ranks. You ain't supposed to be cherry picking. If you do any amount of cherry picking, it's supposed to be after you got the title. Not on your way up to the title, you cherry picking, saying, I don't want to fight that person or that person, I'll fight this person. That's a sign of weakness. What that tells me is that you and your team is aware that you have weaknesses. Now let's move on. I don't have much time. Let's deal with the comments from Aaron Blanchfield about your girl Macy Barber. Because I honestly believe that any support for Barber or any argument that Barber is a threat to the strap, I think it's 100% fanboy energy. And like I said, I don't fanboy these broads. For real, these broads don't care nothing about us. You don't hear them shouting us out. They don't comment on our videos. Macy Barber got a YouTube channel. Almost all these fighters got YouTube channels. They don't support us. They don't support us. Would I look like fanboying for any of them? But I will speak the truth on them. And Macy Barber is subpar. She is not showing to be a top tier fighter right now. Now, this is a statement by Aaron Blanchfield. She said, I was matched up to fight her, and she pulled out of that fight. She said, I believe I heard Manon said that Barber didn't want to fight her either. So right now, it's floating around here. Macy Barber ducked Aaron Blanchfield and Manon, and we've all heard of that. She said they were supposed to be matched up, and Barber said no. Huh? Aaron went on. She said she talked a lot for somebody who's scared of fighting people at the very top. Say it again, Aaron. That's the exact impression I got too when I heard about all this. She said, I really don't care much for her opinion. If you're too scared to fight people at this level, people are at the top of their game, you shouldn't be talking. And I agree with Aaron Blanchfield. Now let's get on Macy Barber's overall skill. Why not? Why not? Now, answer me a question. All the Macy Barber fanboys, answer me this question. Was Macy Barber, when she was 100% inside the cage, fighting, 100%, she was healthy, no injuries, was she or was she not getting spanked by this chick right here? I'm going to give you a couple minutes, because I know your brain don't work that well. No, it don't. Boy, you got peanut butter inside your skull. You don't have brain cells. Huh? You got beeswax for brains. Boy, I swear you got less intelligence when it comes to debate than a bag of bush knuckles. Now look at this. This is your girl. Now this is where it's going to hurt the worst. The number one source to tell you what caliber of fighter is their flipping record. If their record is questionable, don't fanboy. Don't fanboy for somebody with a subpar record, especially if their record is nothing compared to the fighters you're comparing them to. And can y'all believe Macy Barber was compared to Natalia Silva and somehow won? This idea that Macy Barber is deserving of the number one contender, former champion Alexa Grasso, but Natalia Silva is not. You better be ready to back that up with their record. If you can't back it up with their record, what the hell is you talking about? If their record don't tell you that they're more deserving of a title shot, why are you saying it? All right, don't talk out the side of your mouth. Okay, y'all want WMMA smoke. And y'all think shit sweet this way. I'm going to give you, this is going to be an example for you. Look at this record of this broad you trying to say deserves to fight Grasso rather than Natalia Silva. Look at it. You tell me if you see some flaws here. You see one stoppage in this 6-fight win streak, and you see a split decision, don't you? Who should get a split against? Miranda Maverick. You see another split decision, don't you? Who is that against? Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee? How you split decisioning against Andrea Lee? No. You're going to have to explain to me, if you some top tier fighter, if you championship level, you're going to have to explain to me why you split decisioning over a Andrea Lee. No, that's not top tier. That's not championship level. She should have dusted Lee off. Same with Maverick. Did you see Erin Blanchfield getting a split decision over Miranda Maverick? Or did she essentially walk through her? It wasn't no split decision. Miranda Maverick was getting mauled in that fight. Wait a minute. Did we see Erin get dominated by Manon? But somehow Barber is supposed to be a threat to Manon? I don't think so. Go ahead and put Barber in there with Manon if you want to. I'm taking Manon. Couldn't stop Montana De La Rosa or Jessica I. Got a stoppage against Amanda Ribas. Macy Barber struggles. She struggles. And many people thought she lost to Miranda Maverick and lost to Andrea Lee. So you actually caping for a chick who realistically should have a 3-fight losing streak, won 2 fights, and then lost again to Andrea Lee. And this is a chick cherry picking her way to the top. How you cherry picking and getting whooped? Who gets the right and privilege to cherry pick first of all? And then if you lucky enough to cherry pick and get the opponent you want, how you still getting whooped? Because you not top level. That's why. You ain't ready for the strap, and you ain't ready to face and defeat the best fighters the division has to offer. That's just what it is. Now, tell me, like I asked earlier, tell me Barber wasn't getting her fanny spanked by Granny Modafari. And there's supposed to be some serious threat. Look at her. This who was whooping Macy Barber. Whooping her. Whooping her so bad, Macy got injured. Huh? She couldn't even stand up. She too injury prone. Now, if you question that, go back to this article where Macy Barber responded to Aaron Blanchfield. She said she's a little pathetic. Wait a minute. She said, Aaron fought my leftovers. She's talking about how, y'all remember she was talking about that. She said, Aaron doesn't have the power that I have. And she's ignorant or whatever. And Aaron talked about that, not Aaron, Macy Barber said she pulled out of the fight because she tore an ankle. Right? How many of y'all remember that? And I think it's in this article somewhere. Macy Barber responded. And she said, well, I pulled out of the fight because I tore my ankle. She had some type of injury. And that's exactly my point, Macy. So you had a different injury. An injury aside from the one you sustained against Roxanne. So this is a whole different injury. Remember, we sat and watched her inside the cage tear her ACLs like a complete tear, and didn't nobody do nothing to her leg. She tried to throw a kick or something, right? I told you she too top heavy. And all that weight up top was too much on her ligaments. She came down funny and messed up her leg. Why is she injury prone? At least in this example, it was because she was too heavy to be in this type of athletics. I've been saying that she's too heavy for a while. That she needs to go back down to 115. Go back and watch her fights at 115. She way more athletic. Way lighter on her feet. And at 125, she bounces around. Waddles around. She plods around at 125. Where at 115, she's light on her feet. That's her natural weight. At 125, she's coming in heavy. She is heavy. And just look at how out of shape she shows up. So that's two injuries. And then this was a whole different sickness. This girl always getting sick and always getting injured. Fighters like that ain't no threat. And when she ain't injured, when she ain't sick, she have subpar performances. She lacks consistency. She lacks consistency. She lucky to be as far up in the rankings as she currently is. That's why she cherry picks. Injury prone, and her skills is really not top notch. She simply has what most girls don't. Knockout power. Knockout power, that's it. Power in her fists. And she ain't really knocked nobody out throwing kicks, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But for the most part, any girl can get a knockout throwing kicks. But Barber got power in her hands. That's the difference. Who want to crash out for a fighter like that? Who want to say she's Shevchenko ready? That she's Manon ready? That she's Natalia Silva ready? Speaking of Natalia Silva, understand she's being compared to Natalia Silva. So let's leave this 6-fight win streak on the screen, because this idea that Barber deserves to fight Grasso and Natalia don't, we're going to take a good look at that by pulling up Natalia Silva's record. Now, what do you see again in this 6-fight win streak? Split, and 3 decisions. Whereas Natalia Silva's 6-fight win streak involves an undefeated UFC streak. You see the difference? You see the difference? She hasn't lost in the UFC yet. And she's made it higher. She's made it up there. She's right next to Macy Barber in the rankings. Don't tell me she deserves the number one fighter over Natalia Silva. Do you see any split decisions in this undefeated 6-fight win streak? Not one. So Silva has been more what? Dominant. She's not getting questionable decisions over the Andrea Lees of the world. Duh. You about to fanboy over that? You telling me this is more deserving of a title shot? Macy Barber? Now, Natalia Silva, in her 6-fight win streak, let's just deal with 6 fights, because she's had 6 total UFC bouts, Natalia Silva. It involves 2 stoppages, not 1, 2. Now, this is an easy comparison. This is not about opinion. One fighter has a better record than the other. This ain't about opinion. It ain't about perspective. It ain't about how you look at it. This is about facts. Ain't no split decisions in Natalia's 6-fight win streak. You telling me that's not significant when you trying to figure out which one deserve a title shot? I mean, seriously, is that what you're trying to tell me? How can you possibly argue that Macy Barber deserves the shot just based on that alone? She lacks dominance in that 6-fight win streak. Let's move on. She's got more stoppages than Macy Barber, no split decisions, and look at the last time Macy Barber fought. Look at the date. Natalia Silva has been more active. She's more consistent, more active. Macy Barber compiled this 6-fight win streak between July 2021 and today. Natalia Silva compiled it in less time, between June 2022. Basically, Barber had a year head start. But because she's so injury prone and C+ level, you don't see Natalia falling out, getting sick, twisting her ankle, trying to throw a kick and falling all funny and ripping her ACL. Oh, you don't see her clumsy, tripping and falling all over the place. How is Macy Barber such a threat? No, Silva's the threat. Silva's the unquestionable threat. If you comparing her to Macy Barber, it's Silva, no question. I don't expect nobody to say, oh, Macy Barber, prove it. 2 fights last year for Natalia Silva, 2 in 2023, 2 in 2022. Macy Barber, 1 fight in 2024. She's inactive. Why should she? And let's only pay attention to this. The last time she fought. Don't tell me this is not relevant. When you only fought once. I mean, seriously. Macy Barber has only fought once since June 2023. Since June 2023, Macy Barber, how many fights have you had? 1. And you deserve the former champion, current number 1 fighter? I don't think so. No, we're going to give that fight to the fighter who last fought September 2024, just a few months ago. And before that, she fought just a few months prior. Natalia Silva ain't ducking. She ain't pulling out of no fights. Ain't no rumors floating around about Natalia Silva pulling out of no fight, not wanting to fight this fighter or that fighter. The truth is, girls are hoping, they sitting at home with their fingers crossed, hoping that the UFC don't call them, asking them to fight Natalia Silva. That's what's happening. Oh, I hope Mick Maynard don't give me the call asking me to fight this chick. Ain't nobody ducking no Macy Barber. Barber ducking others. So no. This is her mama. Okay, let's close this out. This is Macy Barber's mama right here. She done retired on her. This is Macy. I mean, look at this. Out of shape. Injury that she sustained just being out of shape. Just being uncoordinated. That's what caused this injury. Not landing properly on her feet, not having proper execution, not having proper form like Natalia Silva. How you get in the cage and injure yourself? That's essentially what happened. This chick went there to try to throw a kick. And it was because the kick was so raggedy. And her being so heavy. Landed on one leg with her big fat butt. And that's why I said, you need to be in great shape in MMA because you throw kicks. And a lot of times you're going to land on one leg, on one foot. You need to be as light as possible up top. She come in there with all that weight, landed and hurt herself just being out of shape and sloppy. Why is she out of shape? She doing something. She either eating too much, not working out right on the wrong diet. She's dealing with, if it has nothing to do with medical issues, then it's irresponsibility and ignorance on part of her and her team. Because she's out of shape. We haven't seen that many fighters at all go through the things that she's went through. And when she's healthy, she is not always dominant. And when she's not always dominant, it's not against top level fighters. How you getting a split decision against Andrea Lee? How you getting whooped on the feet by Roxanne? How? You Manon level? You Manon ready? You Shevchenko ready getting slapped around by Roxanne? No, you ain't. How many fighters, how many women have you seen in general this injury prone? This girl threw a kick and took her own self out the fight, self-sacrificed up out the fight. So no, the rightful fighter, the fighter who deserves Alexa Grasso, the UFC matchmakers, they got it right. They got it right. It is number 5, Natalia Silva, not Macy Barber. And if you ask me, I can almost guarantee Macy Barber has been offered Natalia Silva and turned it down. I don't believe UFC just jumped the gun initially. I don't believe that this was the UFC's first decision, though it could have been, because Natalia Silva is so much more deserving than Macy Barber. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. But I strongly suspect they offered Macy Barber Natalia Silva, and Macy Barber asked them, are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind, Mick Maynard? I done already turned down Aaron Blanchfield. I done already ducked Manon, and you want to offer me Natalia Silva? Goodbye. That's what your girl, your fearless warrior, that you crashing out for. That's what she said. And I'll land my plane there.